All right, welcome in. Halftime edition of LSU Michigan round of 32. Tigers down 43-42. Nice start for LSU. We're brought to you by RMB Builders. Remember, get in touch with Rhett Bourgeois and the crew at 921-7062. RMB Builders, rmb-builders.com. Couldn't have asked for a better start for LSU with the way that they got out and were running as they were moving up and down the floor. They were finishing. Cam Thomas was finishing everything. He was getting good looks. But then the game and the pace started to slow down as Michigan started to find their pace. Couple of foul trouble things here to watch with LSU as coming down the stretch. Trendon Watford picked up his third foul. Darius Days is playing with 2 fouls. He didn't pick up his third.
No, Watford, though.
Watford did, definitely. Which I still think Watford can get what he wants by driving to the rim. I still think he's kind of settling in this game. He's made a couple of nice floaters. But, I mean, he's got to be able to get to the rack and finish because, I mean, he's unstoppable there.
And he's been playing his best ball whenever he's had his back to the basket almost. I know he likes to take it off the dribble at the top of the key, but whenever he gets settled in that little low post spot, he's got an array of moves that people don't really have in college basketball anymore.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting what happens here in the second half because Michigan's found their way, and they're shooting it well, too. They're shooting at 57% from the field. Both teams are 4 of 12 from behind the three-point arc, so shooting at 33%. LSU is 6 of 6 from the free throw line. Michigan's been in the free throw line as they were getting there for a lot of the last 6 minutes of the first half. Michigan kind of controlled the pace and was getting to the line as they were 7 of 11. But a big stat to watch here is the rebounds as Michigan was able to kind of overtake this stat midway through the first half as they went up 19-16 at halftime. 2 offensive rebounds compared to 5 for LSU. 5 LSU offensive rebounds. So LSU is playing well. Another nice stat for LSU, 0 turnovers at halftime. So a little cause of concern because how perfect of a game is LSU playing, or did they play for at least 14 minutes of the first half?
And you're trailing. No
turnovers. Cam was shooting it like that, and you're trailing. But I would say that Trendon Watford is still yet to really kind of go off when he can. And I think that he could be the difference here. Darius Days, it was good to see him hit that opening three-pointer, but they never went back to him. Fantastic funky bunch says inside of the of the bunker to run some pick and pop for Days. And that may, that might be the play.
I think we settled back in. We kind of felt, and this happens. We fall in love with Cam Thomas getting hot because it's hard not to. You just kind of get him the rock and watch him cook. But once that kind of fizzles away, he's not going to score 50, So whenever we can get back and settle into our offense, it also helps that Michigan, we're not taking the ball at the hoop after fouls. Like they got into the bonus early, and then it kind of stalled our offense a little bit. So, I mean, you know how this LSU team plays. If we can get stops and run, you're going to see what we did in the first half.
Let's call Yo brother. How we feeling?
Well, I mean, we got to play him for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Well, let me just tell you real quick. We are live. We're live.
I'm hearing a lot of, we played great in the first half, and that's as good as we can play. We're down 1. Well, we're not going to beat them with our C game. Like, the A game's got to show up, and we got to play it for 21 minutes.
Okay, so I was a little concerned because 0 turnovers, Cam shooting it like he is. They're not yet playing quite perfect, but they're playing really good, and they're down 1. I still think Trendon Watford can get to the rim and get what he wants. He's kind of settling. What's going to be the difference in the second half?
Biggest thing is we have to send a double to Dickinson, and 2 things have to happen. And they're doing that, but they're sending 3 because their communication's not great, and at times they're opening up too much of the floor when he catches it. Now, you have to send extra attention to him because he's got something that we don't have, which is 7 feet tall. But what you got to do is make sure you're only sending 1 extra to him, and whoever is guarding him at that point, man-to-man, whether it's LeBlanc, Days, Watford, it's gotten switched to guard, he has to be forced to go to his right hand. As far as I'm aware, he's incapable of doing it. He's an 18-year-old kid who's been gifted an unbelievable body, and he's a skilled dude. When he plays for the Clippers, In 8 years, he'll have all the moves in the book. Today, he doesn't. Somebody's got to make him go to his right hand. And that has been what's opened up the floor for them. We've sent too many guys because of miscommunication and allowed him to get to his left hand, which is where he's a 62% shooter, and he's been great tonight. That's the biggest thing. On the offensive end, we're going to score. Like, we're going to get to the rim. Cam's going to make shots. I mean, if we play our C game in the second half, we're going to lose to the 1 seed. That's part of it, but we're right there.
What did you make of the defenses that they came out and switched in? I kind of like the three-quarter pressure early on to take them out of their sets, but towards the middle and end of the half, they started to break that with ease. What did you think of the way that they matched up with them?
Yeah, they figured it out. I think that you go back to shrinking the court and trying not to space it. They just got too many guys on the floor who are comfortable with what they're doing. Obviously, the point guard, Smith, Wagner knows what he's doing. Dickinson, he gets where he wants to be. And I think that there was some merit to that. You got a couple steals, got a run out, but I think shrinking the floor and trying to create as difficult a look as you can is the best way to go moving forward.
All right, Hunt, let's go, man. How we feeling? How you feel? You think they close this thing out?
I feel great. I mean, look, we're never here. And now it's, we've been here twice in a couple of years. We didn't get it done against a really good team in Michigan State a couple of years ago. Let's try to go beat these guys for 20 minutes. Let's make some shots. These guys are confident. We got to get back to making a couple shots they did in the first half. I don't think the betting public would take us straight up, but I'm not the betting public. I'm wearing purple and gold. I'm ready to go for 20 minutes.
Boot up. I loved your call on the Mississippi State LSU game. We'll talk about it tomorrow morning at 7:30. Thank you.
Sounds good, Jack.
Later, man. There's Hunt Palmer checking in from the LSU Sports Radio Network. Get inside of the bunker if you got a take, if you got a question, if you want to chat here at halftime. We can get back to it as we will be watching the second half. We'll give a reaction depending on the outcome. I got to go grab Little Jay from basketball practice here at 7:30 and get back to watching the action for the second half. But a lot like what Hunt said, look, LSU's got to make shots. They've got to continue to apply pressure to Michigan's defense and put them in situations where they got to make shots or create fouls. Right now, they're perfect from the free throw line defensively. They've got to come up with some type of remedy for Dickinson. And like Coach Brady said this morning, and like Hunt just said here at halftime, you can't let him play to his left. If he goes to his left, he's just about perfect, as we've seen him kill LSU going and working to his left early on here in the first half. Michigan is up a point, 43-42. Remember, tomorrow morning we'll be in with you. Hunt's going to be by at 7:30. We'll talk to Frank Wilson at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, just like we do every week. And we'll have some LSU baseball, basketball reports, but we'll be reacting to the round of 32 matchup between LSU and Michigan. We're at intermission. The Wolverines are up 1. And don't forget, our coverage here is brought to you by R&MB Builders. Hunter Picard let Cam get 50. Yeah, I thought they got away from Cam a little bit in late in the first half. But when they get into a half-court set, they look a little confused. They look a little, they look like they
almost lulled themselves to sleep a little bit by just they were so comfortable right in that kind of open court, kind of playing our game, and then whenever it settled down, it looked like we weren't ready for that kind of half-court game just yet because everything was so free-flowing. Everybody was getting to the basket. We had open shots all over the court. Then the fouls started to happen, and that's the one thing that concerns me more than anything going forward is just how are we going to get officiated? No, you're right. Let's go over to Facebook. I forget about Facebook sometimes. My bad. Let's see here, Patrick Kemery. If we get up with, if we just get a third of those shots in the last 6 minutes, they're up 7 or 8, no doubt about it. Dickinson going to have to beat you. He's got 6. Can he score 25 or more? We'll see. You got to do something about that. Landry, Dickie V. I told Dickie V before the game that LSU was going to win by 4. Justin Brown, boot up. We appreciate you being out there. We'll be with you tomorrow morning. Don't forget, we'll check in with you hopefully at the end of the game. Hopefully we got some good news as LSU can get there. Brandon Hollingsworth, Gaines better not take another jumper. God, that was such a bad shot. We were cussing him inside the UDL. I mean, you just got to know. You got to know your role, man. You got to know why you're out there. Read the room.
I mean, you got to know why you're out there. Javante should have thrown that alley-oop to LeBlanc. He should have, no doubt about it. Javante playing a step or two slow in the first half, but you know he's a big player. He'll be there. No one off the bench is taking a better jumper. Hyatt, Wilkinson, LeBlanc. I thought Hyatt he squared up on a nice looking three early on, just kind of bang bang ended out, and that was kind of the way that one went in. He also had a nice little bunny under the rim again that he kind of missed. So
start ducking those things.
He's
dude.
had
Just
opportunities, man. He's had opportunities. So we'll see. All right, let's get back to the second half. We appreciate you being out there. Remember, like, share, comment on the post. Appreciate you being on Facebook and on YouTube. We're back with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. as the Jordy Culotta Show presented by Go Chevrolet.